Awesome. We've been messaging and Facebook and like talking to you guys about what you would like to grow your business and what would be a contribution. And a lot of what people are saying is, how do I get new people to classes? How do I get them interested in Access? If you guys have background noise, I know no one is listening to them. If you can mute yourself, Zoom is like amazing at picking up shuffling papers and stuff like that. Thank you. So really like getting people interested in the tools. And I know on here we have bars facilitators, certified facilitators, body process facilitators, and facelift facilitators too. So this new class is based on the book, Money Isn't the Problem You Are. The title of the class we made, How Much Are You Willing to Receive? So it's something that all facilitators were having available for you guys to post and facilitate. In a way that, hey, it's people have never had to heard of Access to be interested in the class about receiving. And it's a great way, like the way we wrote out the little manual, it's got like a mini manual or handout for you to use, is it walks you through. It's super easy to teach a class on it. So it's just another way for you guys to have another option to invite people to. I know some of you guys, if you're CFs, create your own classes, but as bars facilitators, you've been able to facilitate a full day bars class and an intro to bars or a gifting and receiving. But, a lot of people, so I was one person who just jumped in and took a first bars class, but a lot of people out there want to know about, they need more to learn more about the tools and be interested. And so this class is sort of designed for that. And I hear a French line maybe? Thank you guys for being so patient and awesome with background noise.
They're not showing up on the naughty list.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, they're gone.
Oh, maybe not. I'll give you a second to find them to mute so we don't have French in the background.
I think I've got them.
I think you got it? Okay, thank you. Yeah. So basically what I can show you guys today is the little manual that you can print out, the handout for the class, the graphics we made for you. So there's a Facebook event graphic, so you can create an event around it. There's a Facebook square and a cover to put on Facebook as well. And then you've got the manual for the class. I'll show you, if you've never ordered books in bulk before, we have a form to do that. So the book is normally $15. When you buy 10 or more, it's half price. So it's $7.50 US a book. So then you can order those ahead of time before class, have them for people to buy. So it's lots of different ways to make money with the class and just invite people to something different. So before I show you the manual and stuff, does anybody have a question? You can unmute or put it in the chat.
Yes, is the book a prerequisite for the class?
No, I would say you don't need to, no, it doesn't need to be a prerequisite for the class at all. You'll see in the manual, we put page numbers for the tools, but really you could walk someone through the class without them having ever read the book, and then they'd probably want to buy it afterwards if they were interested. So that way anyone can come. I would think it would be easier that way than to have books there to sell. If you're in touch with people, beforehand and they want to buy the book and you have copies, they can buy it online or through you personally. If you guys, is anyone on here not an affiliate with Access? I'm sure not everybody is. Okay. If you are, awesome. If not, you can give people on your, if you contact people by email or you have people sign up for the class and they want to buy the book online, you can give them your affiliate link to the book so that when they buy anything in the shop, you get a commission from it. So if you haven't set up an affiliate account, it's really, really quick and easy. So I can show you today what that looks like, and then we can also put that information in the follow-up too.
Is this book already translated into German?
It is not in German, and so it is in English, simplified Chinese, and French is almost going to print, so that's why we have French translation on here too. Spanish is closer to being done, but not done. And so what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure we have something like this in all the languages. This book is it was a really fun one to start with, even though it's not translated into a bunch of languages. So we started with this one. I think next we might do the Joy of Business book because it's in so many languages, and kind of do a class about like your life is your business, make it really accessible for people. But we'll make sure we get, because most languages we have something in that we could, you know, base a class around. But right now it's going to be English and French and simplified Chinese, and Spanish will soon be following. Cool. Okay, so let me show you guys everything, and we'll send out in the follow-up email like the manual you can use, how to order books. So this will all get sent to you, but just so I'll share my screen so you can see everything. And feel free to ask a question as we go along. You can
Hey, Emily, there's some questions too in the chat about, is there a set price for this class?
There is not. So you guys can choose what price you would like to charge. Choose something that honors you and honors access. You know, I would say this class would be about 2 to 3 hours probably if you were scheduling like a workshop. So here's what the little manual looks like. It's really pretty. Betsy, thank you for making it so beautiful.
My pleasure.
So it has a picture of the book on it. How much are you willing to receive? A place for you to put your name and the participant's name. This is really short. You don't have to like print the manual, like take it and bind it. It's just a couple pages. So you could literally just print it and hand it out. You don't have to make it like a BARS manual. It's only a few pages. And then you can see it starts off just really, you know, basic enough. We'll send this out, but hey, one of the main excuses for not doing the things we like to do in life that no one can argue with is I don't have the money. You've probably heard that excuse when you facilitate classes and people don't sign up for classes. So this is really about moving out of that mindset of lack and poverty consciousness and into receiving. So it starts off really basic. Name some points of view you have about money. And you guys can talk about that, facilitate it however, you know, you would like. You can talk about your point of view creates your reality. Are they your points of view or someone else's? You know, you can talk about how we buy other people's points of view. Who does it belong to? So really some of the most basic tools are introduced right away that change people's worlds, especially if they've never heard of Access. We forget sometimes these really basic tools are such a gift. Talks a lot about the greatness of you. This is a quote from the book. The biggest thing you are unwilling to receive is how incredibly great you really are. When you start receiving the greatness of who you are, everything in your life starts to change, including your money. And so this is a little exercise about, you know, if you're living the life you truly like to live, what else would you like to add to it? So you can talk about, you know, asking for more, not having to limit yourself. What else would they like to add if they were truly living the life they would like to? We often talk about how we don't need something or deserve it or we can do without it. So this is really about asking for everything they desire. And you'll have it's really fun with this. And then ask and you shall receive, a law of the universe. And then so this is where you can talk about living in the question. And really some of, you know, the questions we go to a lot in Access, like how does it get any better than this? What else is possible? What would it take for blank to show up? If I buy you, will you make me money? So if you guys haven't read this money book, it's awesome. I would definitely suggest reading it before you facilitate the class. It's one of the first books I think I got in Access and, you know, ran the clearings and asked the questions. So this is a great place. I mean, depending on how you facilitate, you know, it's up to you how long you want to spend on the questions, but that's a huge thing for people. You guys could spend quite a bit of time there. There is a page number there. So this is when a lot of the pages in the English book, when the questions are brought up. So you can flip through the book if you have copies of the book with you, or like I said, you don't really need the book to facilitate it. So it's up to you how you use that, but the page numbers are there for you guys to refer to either while you're facilitating to help the people in the class, or when you're prepping, you know, when you're looking through the book and just seeing like how we pulled these tools out. They're not in like sequential order of the book. They're more in the order of how it works for the little mini manual in class. Some of the basic tools that we talk about how to change their money flows. So talking about saying, I don't want money, and how want means to lack. There's a really cool, you know, conversation about that in the book that you can go into. the energy of words, what they mean, carrying around the amount of cash in your wallet that a wealthy person would carry. That blows a lot of people's minds the first time they hear that. The 10% account. If money weren't the issue, what would you choose? Like choosing based on what you desire, not on the limitation of money, and adding to your life. So you guys can see all of these. You could really break out into longer discussions, open the book. All those are huge tools about their money flows. About being greater. And again, you know, when you're facilitating Follow the Energy, you don't have to go in order of this. You don't have to go over every single tool. They can take this home with them. If you don't get through any, you know, everything, that's fine. If you guys have ever led people through like the energy ball, for lack of a better word, that exercise, there's a good explanation of it in the book on page 40. People love to, you know, do that in class. So if you want to walk people through that, you can look ahead of time on page 40, or you can look at it as you do it, really asking people, you know, to get the energies of what they'd like to add to their life, and what that would be like, and then pulling energy through that. If
Emily?
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people asking in the chat room if they can do this as a Zoom class, or is it only live?
Right now it's only live. And then we could look at maybe changing that. For now, though, this is like an in-person class, since it's sort of based on a book and we want you to have people there. So right now it's in person, and that could change soon. So depending on what, like, feedback from you guys and what we're getting, we can let you know. Thank you, Betsy, for letting me know the questions, because I'm not looking.
You're welcome. And then, I know, because there's so many and they're going so fast. And then the other question that's come up quite a bit is, where can they find the manual? I think people are popping on a little late. I know we'll kind of recap it. And then where will they be able to actually list this class?
Okay, perfect.
If you want to talk about all that.
Yes. Okay, so this is the manual that I'm showing you guys. That will send you out a link. I can put it, or Melanie, can you put it in the chat right now so people can see it? She can give you the link that has this manual in it, and also the graphics. So we'll send you that in email. We can also post it in all of the facilitator groups, and have it saved in the files section in the facilitator group, so you guys have that access to it, so it'll always be there. And then save your email. So when we send, you know, the follow-up to this with all the links, save it somewhere. You know, we'll put it in the chat now, mark the links so you have them. And then of course we'll put it on the names too, so you'll have access to it on the name as well. As far as where to list the class, let me go to, when you go to your account on the Access site, you're going to go down to create a class. And depending on what you facilitate, you're going to see different things here, but this will be listed under events. And they're making the class listing active today, so it's actually not, you don't see it here yet, but it'll say, how much are you willing to receive? Okay, so it'll be under events and in-person events. And then you'll post it as you normally would a class. It's $20 to post the class, so same as it would be for a bars class or a taster class. Okay, so back to the manual. If you guys came late, you'll see it's just a few pages. Starting here, walks you through the exercises. Like I said, there's a lot here. I would guess it'd be a good 2 to 3 hour class. And, you know, run it how you would like. You don't have to go through everything.
And another question is, can they use the clearing statement during the class?
Yes. Yes, so one of the things that I know bars facilitate, we had a lot of questions on is, can I do clearings? You know, what can I do? And this class is designed sort of so you, it walks you kind of through everything. There's some clearings in the book, and the money isn't the book itself. So that are really basic clearings about money and receiving. So those are great ones to run if you want to pull some out of the book and run, you know, and if you're a BF but not a CF, you know, a great sort of clearing is when you're talking about money or whatever this is, like, okay, everything this brings up, can we destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, online, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And then the gift of having the book too is that there are really great processes in it. I can actually pull the processes for you too, and we could put that on a little sheet so you kind of have it as like a facilitator cheat sheet of clearings too, if you guys would like that.
That's a great idea. Okay, so some more questions.
Okay.
Is bars a prereq
No.
class?
Nope. So there's no prereqs to this. You can invite anyone and everyone to come.
They're asking again about, is there a fixed or minimum price?
Nope. You guys can choose what you'd like to charge. So depending on your area where you live, you know, what's a normal workshop cost for that would be 2 or 3 hours, and then also honor how amazing the tools are in a workshop like this, and you guys get to choose. So it's really, it gives you guys a lot of freedom and also a platform, you know, that's easy to invite people to. So no prereqs, you can invite everyone. You get to choose the price.
And then the CFs are asking if they can teach it, and
Yep.
if they can teach it online, or do you want that honored as live only?
For right now, let me just say live only, and then let me, we'll post in like the groups to like confirm that, like if as CF groups. So for right now, let's do it live. And that may change.
Emily,
Yes.
do you have any plans to translate this book also in other languages? Because I know people in Slovenia, they will ask if we have the book in Slovenian.
Yeah. So we started with this book for the topic and the ease of creating kind of a cool class with it. And so right now, the book is only in English and simplified Chinese. It's coming very soon in French and soon in Spanish. I think Japanese is coming as well, although I'm not totally sure about the date. So then we are going to, in the other languages that this book isn't in, I think the next little mini class we're going to do, if you guys like this and we get good feedback from you that, yes, this is awesome, we'll probably do the Joy of Business book next. Because it's translated in the most languages. I think it's in 13 languages, and really fun to do a class about like your life is your business, you know, and create something like this so that it be in more languages. So we're very aware of that and looking at creating something for each language. So you guys have, you know, another option for classes to facilitate, basically, that are intro level and easy for you to do and invite people.
Okay, can you address, there's a question in the chat, there's a couple questions, but one is about the Spanish book is out of print right now, so can you address that?
Yep, we're redoing the Spanish one, so it's getting rewritten, and it'll be coming soon, but it isn't out yet. So it's out of print because it's getting revised. It needed a different translation.
Ellie, can I ask a question, please?
Yes, please.
Hi, it's Adriana. I live in Brazil. Are we allowed to translate the Mandarin to Portuguese ourselves?
This is a very good question. Let me again think, because the book isn't in Portuguese, right? So let me look at that, because like I said, it is a class that you can, you know, facilitate without the book. The tools are written that way. The reason we wanted to have it with the book, especially for BFs, is because they don't have the facilitation training like a CF does. So it makes it really easy class to facilitate when they have a manual and they have the book there and the people have that. So that's one of the reasons why we have it just in the languages we do for right now, because it's the book and the manual. So let me get back to you. Right now I would say no. And you know, what else is possible? We can look at what else we could maybe do with that.
Thank you.
Emily, can I just jump in here a second? Because I know sometimes people get really excited, and if you know both languages, you might want to even try to translate the book yourself. I just want to say, don't do that. We don't want anybody taking an Access book and just translating it. You actually need written approval because of the copyright, all the copyright legal stuff. So, so just know, like Emily said, she'll be looking at different possibilities with languages, but do not translate the book yourself, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
They're also asking if they have to submit the class list like they do for bars.
I think as part of, since you'll list it on the website, just like you check in participants to like an intro class, it would be the same thing. Like you would just check them in, but you don't have to submit a list besides that. So they'll register, you know, through the website, and then you can check them in that way. Cool.
Emily, we have a question in French, which is, does a BF needs to have taken COP before facilitating this class?
You do not. That's the gift of this class. It's for all BFs and all BPFs and facelift facilitators too. Well, let me show you, and you can keep asking questions. I'll just show you the graphics while you guys are asking questions too.
All right,
And
somebody
yeah.
just asked if they had that. I think they're misunderstanding the what you were talking about, the joy of business, saying that they thought that they had to facilitate as a BF. They had to have done the joy of business classes first. So.
Oh no, thank you. No,
you're welcome.
No, any BF can facilitate this class. So there's, you know, if you're a BF or a BPF or an AFF or a CF, you can facilitate this class. And anyone can come to it. So they don't need bars. They don't need any prereqs to attend the class. And it's $20 to post the class on the Access site. And you can choose the price you want to offer for the class. Okay. And then we'll send you, these are beautiful graphics that Melanie made that we will send to you guys. We'll also post in the facilitator groups. So you can share your classes, you can make Facebook events, share with your email list, etc. Yep, go ahead.
Can I ask, can we translate the manual for the participants?
Well, that's what right now, I would say no, just because we don't have the book to go along with it. And that's something that I can look at with Pam, but right now, in order for especially bars facilitators facilitate it for people, I want them to be able to have the book in their language, if that makes sense, and the participants, so that it's really an easy class to facilitate. And we will be doing more in the languages, because I know you guys are excited, and there's many of you that you know, our English isn't the first language, so we want to make sure we get stuff for all of you guys. If you've never ordered books in bulk, we'll send out this PDF again for you. You have to order 10 or more to get half off. And basically you just tell them Access Consciousness Publishing how many books you want and of what title, and then you pay via PayPal or other arrangements if that doesn't work, and then you get the books. And you need to leave enough time for shipping, so usually 10 business days. So if you plan a class and you want to have the books ahead of the class or at class, make sure you order those in time so you've got them. I've done a version of this class a couple times and everybody there bought a book, so you want to make sure you have enough ready if they're not buying them ahead of time.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I would like to know if we're going to have also like kind of a certificate or something like that that we can give to our attendee.
You could make one if you wanted.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much. And also, do you have an idea that maybe we can have like an average of prices so we won't be, you know, so far away or, you know, just so different in prices? Maybe like I saw in the chat that maybe we can do something like a bar or something like that. Do you have any idea about that? And the joy of business will be almost the same, like we have to choose the price?
Yeah, so these are, you know, sort of like, you know, if you could list an intro to Access evening or an intro to the bars, it's a class that we let you set up the price for. So I would really say to follow the energy, because some people, you could probably take 4 hours to facilitate this class. You might do it in 2 and skip around and not do every tool. And everyone is so different with what they they feel comfortable with charging. Same with your bar sessions, you know, and where you live and what feels light for you. So I, you know, if I were to do ballpark, people are so different. That's why I don't even want to give a number, but anywhere from, I don't know, 50 would probably be the low end, I would say, whether it's Euro or US, to 75 to 100. You know, people are very different. Other people might charge, you know, I have no idea.
Thank you so much.
Right? But if that
Thank you.
Emily, for the French book, I suppose there is a specific way to get them, because they are with a French editor. It's the same as Being You, the book Being You.
Yeah, we'll send you, for the French language, send you information of how to order it, because it's almost going to print. And so we'll make sure that a big email will definitely go out in French too, and that you guys all know how to order that.
Okay,
so that you guys have it. You're welcome.
There's another question if ordering the 10 books counts as an affiliate order.
Oh gosh, Pam, do you know that?
No, it doesn't.
I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either.
One or the other. Either you buy it in bulk or you buy it as an affiliate.
Yeah, you will make more money if you buy in bulk, because if you're getting the book for 50% off, you know, you're getting it for $7.50 and you sell it to them for $15, you're making 50% on every book. Whereas with the affiliate link, you're going to make 10. So, but some people might want to order it online beforehand. So that's why it's good to use your affiliate link. I can share my screen and show you that really quick. If you're not an affiliate, we'll make sure to put it, that information in the follow-up too. So when you're logged in, if you're an affiliate, you click on your affiliate profile, and everyone has a unique number, basically, that for me it's A1288. So basically, if I want to find out the links, and I can give people a link just to the shop in general, and that way anyone that uses my link and whatever they purchase in the shop, I get commission on that. So they have you type your number in here, and then it pre-populates all the links for you. This first one is the Access Shop, so you could just send somebody a link to the shop. Otherwise, you'll see here, basically that's the code that you put on the end of any link to create your unique affiliate link. But you could scroll down, get it specifically for the book, or just send people to the Access Shop that way. If you do not have an affiliate account, you can, Pam, do they just email affiliates at accessconsciousness.com?
Ooh, I think you do it online. Tell you what, I'll check and keep going.
Okay, cool. So we'll make sure, but it's very easy to sign up for if you haven't done that already.
Somebody else is asking if they have to register the class online.
No, you do not. So you don't have to. It's your choice if you want to post it. We are creating a link. So when we promote things as Access Consciousness, and this is a great question about the bonus of listing things online or having a public profile. We at Access, the first month our new website came out, we had over 1 million hits to the website, over 1 million people going to the website. If that made our even PR agent was like dumbfounded by that number. She had no idea. So there's tons of people all the time coming to the website to learn more. I just saw a new statistic yesterday from our website. The bars page is one of the top 3 most visited pages. So they're going to there the most. And if you don't have a public profile, they can't find you. So all the media we do, so every time Dane or Gary get an article in Mind Body Green or Forbes magazine or any of the facilitators, we link everything back to access.com, right? accessconsciousness.com. Also, all of our social media, and again, we're reaching about 500,000 to 1 million every month through Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, and we send everyone to the Access site. And then they're looking for people like you because they're curious of what is this? What is the bars? What is this class? So, you know, if you do set up a public profile, that's how people can find you. And for classes like this, or here, a good example that you might be familiar with was when we did Suicide Awareness Week. and we created a special link like accessconsciousness.com / I think it was suicide awareness. And it pulled up all the listings of all the events that you guys had. So we are also creating a short link that's like a link that's going to pull up all of these class listings. So it's going to be accessconsciousness.com / receive more. And I can put that in the email too. But basically, we as Access are also going to be promoting this class for you. So we'll talk about, hey, there's this new class. And then we can send people to that link. And again, it's not active yet. It's going to be active today. Once you guys post your classes, then all of them will start to populate under that URL. And then what we do as a company to our millions of people, we say, hey, there's this new class. I'm not going to promote just one of you, right? So I'm going to send them to that link. And then all of the classes get pulled up. And then they can search by location like they do for a bars class or anything like that. So it's your choice to list it. You know, you might have a local community and do lots in person and you don't want to put it online. That's fine. But there is a certain energy of when you post it online, all of Access, there's a different energy. You've probably noticed this in classes when you post or don't post publicly on the Access site. If you haven't, the whole company and all of Access and all the facilitators get to contribute. There's an energy you jump into when you post that class and are contributed to by and receive from. So if you've never played with posting a class publicly, it might be a time to do that. If you've never gotten a public profile, play with that, because there is, you know, all of us constantly on the Access Dazzle, there are hundreds of us, and we're very aware of all these classes and creations, and we're pulling energy and contributing to them and to you guys all the time. So also when people sign up for a class online, and you may have noticed this when you've signed up for Access classes or a bars class or a class with Gary or Dane or another facilitator, you start to receive that class and the change from the moment you register. So it's also a gift to the people coming to your class. If they get to find your class online, register, they begin to receive that class and the gift of it from the moment they also are committing to the change to the class too. So just so that's a little blurb on that. But it is your choice. You don't have to post it online.
And Emily, is there a cost to display the class on the website? Is there a cost?
$20. Yep, it's $20. The same as like an intro or a bars class, and it will be active today. I thought it was going to be active by the time we had the Zoom, but it'll be active later today. The class, like the description's already up there. You will want to, because you are picking your own price for this. You know, when you post a class for Access, and I can share my screen again, we always populate a class description for you. So for this class, there's a little mini description, right, that we've written, which will be in the class posting. A link to buy the book will be in the class posting. But then make sure when you list your class, that you add in your personal details, kind of like you would for a bars class or anything else, so that they know how much the class would be. Let me see it. Like, for example, let's say I were doing a gifting and receiving. Make sure if this were the money class, you want to make sure in this class, this section location, additional class info in the class notes. This is where I would put, like, you know, details about where it is, anything else you want to write, the price. In your autoresponder email text, this is what, once they register, they get sent this automatically. So in here, I would definitely put your information, how they can contact you with questions, the price you're offering for the class, how they can pay you. So if you have a PayPal link or a website where they can pay you, and that way they have that information immediately after they register. And I always personally reply to people after they register and say, hey, I'm so excited you're coming, just to give it that personal touch too. But make sure that you fill in all of that information as you go, so they have all of that extra stuff. And you can put your class cost in there, so you'll be able to choose the class cost.
Well, and some people suggested too in the chat that you could add the cost of the book into the class if you wanted to do it that way.
Totally. And that's sometimes a really great tool for people. So again, you could put in here, pick your price. So maybe it's like $75. And then in here, you could, put for this class, you'll receive a copy of the book. Money isn't the problem, you are. And then they don't have to worry about purchasing it. They're going to come to the class and get a copy. That works really well. We do that for the Being You intro classes or day-long classes, and people are really excited to receive a book from the class. So absolutely, you can do that too.
Hey, Emily.
Yeah.
If you want to share your screen again for the affiliate, you go to the shop and there's a header at the top that says become an affiliate.
Okay.
I knew it was that easy.
I knew it was easier than
Emily,
yeah.
I have a question about the affiliate program.
Yes.
They usually PayPal email address.
Yes.
We have a priority for PayPal. So I have no chance to use the payments for, PayPal account. Generally for Turkey, I think this one. Is there any suggestion I can make? I'm going to SOP class to Denmark. Maybe I can purchase the book from over there, like 10 of them, or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, if you
how is gonna
yep. If you know you're going to a class ahead of time and you know you want to buy books in bulk there, then you can let them know. I see Fatma is on, so I want to ask her. She probably knows.
Who is the person for the book department? Every seminar we have the book
Andrew Gardella is in charge of the traveling bookshop.
Okay. I can email him.
Yep, so you can email him.
Suggest that book. Maybe he may, bring it maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah, and we're just a week out from that class, so it might be a little
late.
And email him to find out. If you guys don't have his email, we'll put that in here too. Because you can do that if you know you're going to a class and want to pick up the books in person.
So how is gonna work this PayPal things for the Turkey to affiliate programs? How is gonna work? Do you?
I'm not super involved with the affiliate program.
I see.
Megan Hill.
I will. Okay.
And so we can contact Megan and see. I'm not sure if there's a workaround to that. There might be that I'm not aware of.
I have a number, like ID number, affiliate, like as you just showed. But I don't know how it's gonna be activated. There is no PayPal email. Anyway.
Yeah. So how they pay you? Check with Megan and the affiliate.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye bye.
We have some more questions about, are they able to teach the class if the book is not in their language?
You guys are so awesome. I'm so excited. And so at the moment, if it's not in your language, the book is not, we're asking that you don't facilitate it because we don't want you to translate the book on your own or the manual on your own. And we promise we know all the languages and the demand that's there globally for things in your own language. And so that's why probably the next class really that I'd like to do will be around the Joy of Business book, just like this is around the Money Isn't the Problem book, because the Joy of Business book is translated in 13 languages. So looking at giving you guys, an intro class like this in your language. But for this one, for now, it's just in the languages that the book is in.
And just to let you guys know, it's right now, there's 34 books in process of being translated and published. So we have kind of churning in the background all the time, a whole group of people who are looking at different countries and languages and, which book when, and trying to have something being created in every language. And so, but also book publishing takes a little bit of time. So we can't instantaneously get it all, but we are going to be creating, so one, there's both with the books that exist, Emily's going to be creating more of these little classes, and looking at, okay, we don't have anything in this language yet. What books are there? What can we do? But also there will be a lot more books in languages coming out in the next
Pam?
months. Yep.
Pam, so I just want to double check. So the book is not translated to Turkish. It means I cannot do right now, right? At that moment. Oh, okay. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.
Cool. And I see someone's asking, how do you pay the $20 to post the class? If you have a public profile, which you need a public profile to make your class public so that people can see it, right? And so that when we promote it, that they can see your class. Just like when you post a bars class, and I can screen share again, at the bottom, it'll say post to public calendar. This is for a gift and receive, which is why it says 0. But this class will say $20 right there, and then you can click post and make sure it posts. I always go back after I post a class and then search myself and make sure my class is posted and everything looks good, so that when you share the link or send people there, you can make sure everything look good. So I always go back and check my profile to see what's posted. If you haven't done that. And if you haven't signed up for a public profile, you can do that on the website too.
We have several questions about people wanting to know if they are teaching the class in English, but in another country, can they still do that?
Yes. Yeah, they're teaching it in English to people speaking. Yeah, totally.
And then there was another question, can they ask the questions in English and then talk the rest of the class in another language?
No, because they don't have the book or the manual. And this is definitely a larger, for right now, I really want the people, for you guys, because anyone can facilitate this. And we really created it so that people that don't have a lot of facilitation training, as a BF, you may have taken other classes, but say you're a new BF, you've only taken your 3 bars classes or you're a body process facilitator. And we're designed this so that you can have another option to invite people to the tools of access. But you don't have to have done a lot of access to do this. If you read the book and look at that manual, it's spelled out for you. You've got all the tools, the questions that you can work with people and talk with them through the book. If the book is not in your language and the manual is not in your language, then that's more difficult for you as a facilitator to do that. And we really want this to be like a super easy and something that your participants really receive from and get a great class. So we can look at all of that, but right now I would say it needs to be in your language to do it. And if that changes or we come up with a fun workaround, we can let you guys know.
There's a couple people asking how they become, how do they get themselves on the website to be able to post classes?
Awesome, great question. So it's $150 to set up, if you don't have a public profile, it's $150 to set it up. I believe you can do that. That's only in one payment, I think. Is that correct, Pam? And then it's $10 a month after that.
I was typing a response to a question, so I didn't hear what you said.
For people that want to set up a public profile that don't have one, so they can list a class, is that $150 upfront in one payment? Is that the only way they can pay that, correct, I think?
Ooh, I am not. It's been so long since I sent one up. Let's ask Mary, and she'll know, and we can put it in the email. But there's a get it set up price, and then there's like a monthly. You could pay.
Yeah, I know it's $150 to set it up. I'm just not sure if you can. You might be able to do that in 2 payments, which is why I can't remember. And then it's $9.99 a month, which is. And then if you don't, so I have a public profile, so I can see it in my drop down. If you don't have one, I believe you log in, and then in your drop down, it'll say like purchase a public profile. I forget what it says because I've had one, but it'll say buy a public profile, and you can do it right through the website.
And there is a page on the Ning, I'm going to put it in here, where it has all the information about getting a paid profile. And just to clarify, everybody has a profile. You all can go in and post your classes. It's the choice to have a paid view, viewed by the public, post your classes to the public, is what we're talking about. You don't have to do that. And then once you have your public profile, you have access to post this class there so people can see it and go search for it. And it's that posting it that costs $20.
Cool.
Someone else want to know if the book is available online, or is it just hard copy?
Yep, there's an audio online, and I think it also has a Kindle version. I should know that. Does anyone else know that? If there's, I can look.
There is the Kindle version.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so yeah, there's a Kindle version, an audio version, and the hard copy. So you can send people the links. You'll find them all in the shop. They're a lot easier to find now in the shop, which is wonderful. And they're sorted by hard copy or audio, etc. Cool. Other questions?
Someone was asking earlier if they could also do a gifting and receiving the same day, like before or after they offer this class.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. I love, you guys are so creative. I love, however you want to create around this. Absolutely, that might be a whole day of receiving.
Yeah, that's a great
Bars,
idea.
talking about money, I love that. Yeah, great idea.
I have a question also, Emily.
Yeah.
You send us the link to the manual in English. Does it exist for the manual in French?
It's in translation right now, so it should be done when we will make sure we send that to you. I think it'll be done in a week or two, I would say at the most, but it's being translated now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, any other questions?
Emily, I want to get clear around this issue that if it's not in English, when I joined to facilitate bars, it wasn't in Hebrew. The bars manual wasn't in Hebrew, but we did teach it. So is it the same that we can facilitate the class with the English material and give the Hebrew explanations or something?
That's why let me talk with, we have quite a large translation team looking at all this stuff like that. So let me, since I knew that you guys are gonna have a lot of questions about that and I understand it. So let me check with everybody and see what's possible with that. Like if there can be a workaround or what we can do. But for right now, let's say the manual and the book needs to be in that. And then we will make sure in the follow-up email, because we can figure that out before we send this replay, and let you guys know for sure. We'll put in the links to everything and let you guys know for sure on that. Sound good?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Emily, one question for the following email. We will have the link for the replay and MP3 file for the translation, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
The audio file, you should always get the audio download and the video download. And then if you're in a language, you should get the audio download of the replay too in your language.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Emily, as there's already a Audible version of the book, is it possible to put that on audible.co.uk? Because the Being You book's on there, The Place is on there, Joy of Business is on there. And it'd be great to have this book on there as well.
Oh, this one, the audio is not on Audible? Oh, I can ask, that's a question for the ACP team. Yeah, I can let them know that.
Fantastic, thank you.
Yeah.
And just to recap, everybody, I think everybody's already over in the Access site looking for the drop-down menu, and they're not seeing it, so they want to put it in gifting and receiving. Know that it will be live today, you guys. I just love it.
I know, thank you. I'm so I reminded the team last night to make it live, and it's not live yet. So it'll be there. It'll say, how much are you willing to receive? That will be the class title. So it's different from a gifting and receiving. It'll have its own title. So you want to list it under that.
Yeah, and by waiting and listing it that way, you get the benefit of all that promotion that Emily was talking about and having people be able to find it. You know, if you post it under gifting and receiving, it's going to get lost in all those other gifting and receivings.
Yeah, and then they wouldn't see the class description in it either. So you want to make sure you list it as this, because then when they click on it, it explains what the class is, and then you can put your, link to buy the book in the description and where the class is, everything like that. So you want to take advantage of all the promotion we do for you guys. So you want to list it under the correct thing, and it's yeah, it'll be up. I would say, definitely today. It'll be up there today when you look again.
I love it. Somebody private messaged me that they're already printing the manual out. How does it get better than that?
Awesome.
Then a couple other questions that have come through in the chat is if you could just briefly talk about the benefit of being an affiliate, and then briefly do an example of how you would give the class.
Cool. Those are great questions. So I don't know if let's first talk about how you would give the class. If you were on, I think it was the last Zoom we had with Marilyn Bradford, and it was about how to give a bar, like tips to run a really great bars class. If you haven't seen that Zoom or looked at the little PDF, it's great. There's some basic tips. This is how I start every class. Whoever is there, I have everyone introduce themselves and a little bit about what brought you here, what would you like to get out of the class today? Whether that's spoken in words or energy, it creates a energy for you to go on, what people are kind of asking for. I would give them all of their manuals when they are checking in. Make sure you take care of payment at the beginning so people aren't worried about that during the class. Whether you do that through PayPal or your website ahead of time. This probably could be a 2 to 3, maybe 4-hour workshop, depending on how long you like to go, if you have a break or not. So if it's going to be 3 hours, I always like to have a little bit of food for people, like a salty and sweet snack, and maybe depending on if it's at your house or you're at like a venue like a yoga studio. By the way, this would be a great class to market to offer at a yoga studio or a wellness center if you're thinking of having a class or approaching a local business that offers workshop space. This would be a really great one to propose, because you can share the class description with them. It's already written. You can show them the manual. It's already there. So it gives places like that an idea of what you would be facilitating, which is great. And then really I would have, if you include the book in the price that you set, you could pass out the book. Otherwise, you could just have the books there for them to buy afterwards. And then I would just, start at the beginning and then follow the energy. So I always, you can start somewhere. People ask questions. It starts off with points of view about money. From there, it may go anywhere, but you always have that manual to fall back on, kind of like the bars manual. It's there for you to have, and so you can literally, if you like to walk people through, and they're not super active in asking questions, then you've got that manual to go from. Be familiar with the manual. So if someone asks a question on, something that has to do with maybe wealth or carrying money, then you go, oh, I know where that is. It's on page, 3. And you can go, okay, here it is, and point people to where it is in the manual. So be familiar with what's in there, but follow the energy of what people are asking for, if that makes sense. And then, you'll find out the first time you do it, if you set the class to be 2.5 hours and you're like, whoa, that was a lot to do in 2.5, or maybe you finished early the next time you create the class. This will be here for you to post, a class that'll always be available for you. So, play with it and see what works for you. And like I said, you don't have to go through every single exercise. It may happen. Or people might get really excited about the 10% account, and you might go through, spend a lot of time about talking about honoring you and creating your 10% account and what that creates in your life. And so you don't get to a couple of the other exercises, and that's fine. They have that to take home with them. And then if they buy the book, they have the book too. So they have lots to, it keeps them interested. And, just make sure after the class, you follow up with your clients just like you would a bars class. So sending them links to if you have any upcoming gifting and receiving or any other classes that are available, or how they can find other things on Access Online, the YouTube channels, or your social media. Always giving people who are curious and want more a way to stay in contact with you and to, learn more.
Emily?
Yes.
I watched the chat, so I found out there is still a bit of confusion about the German language. So you mentioned that you only can facilitate the class as soon as the manual is in the same language, right?
And the book. And right now it's not in German.
Okay, so all the German people cannot take this class?
For right now, no. Until, and I will check with the translation team if there's a workaround. And for this book, though, it's not currently in German, unless you want to, you're obviously an English speaker too, so if you were traveling somewhere, wanted to teach the class in English, or had people that were taking it in English, that would be fine.
Okay, but as this book is actually not a prereq for it, and I think somebody from Israel mentioned already, because of the bars classes, she had the manual in English and could facilitate in Hebrew. So
yeah, that's fine. We're gonna talk with, we have a bigger translation team, or things like that. We just look at all of the options and what works for your students and the facilitators. So when we send out this replay email, we'll have a definite answer to that. I just don't want to answer it definitely now. Is that okay?
Okay. And just to reiterate what Emily said earlier, part of creating this was to give those of you who may have only taken 3 bars classes a way to facilitate something different, where you have the support of, I've read the book, I have the manual, this gives me the tools, I can go out and facilitate this. So, while what you're talking about that's been done with the bars is, is accurate, we have done that. This is created, this is a much more free form kind of class than a bars class. So we wanted to give people a way to do it when they haven't had a lot of experience with Access. And so that's where the no, don't do that is coming from. And we will, I'm just so excited by how excited you guys are. And what this is, get the energy of what this is already creating in the world. And so, we will look at what else is possible with different languages. And then there will be, the next book might be in your language, but not in somebody else's. So, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Pam.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very aware, and we really do want to create something that you guys have in your language too, and that's why we're looking at which books are in which languages and what we can do next. This was just our starting point, and so we're so excited, and it's great to see the feedback, because partly is knowing how excited you guys are and seeing who posts the class. And literally, I would please email us and let us know, like, after you have this class, how it went. I know, I think it was last year, we had that special class, a taste of out of the box, that you guys could facilitate, and which is still available for you guys to post and list. And I loved hearing feedback about what people said after they facilitated a few of them and got new people interested. So please let us know how it goes. And if you have questions, you can always email us at bars@accessconsciousness.com, and a bunch of us get that email and we can reply to you. But please let me know, because we want to make sure if we create stuff, you actually use it and it's helpful and contributes to your business. So let us know if that's the case. And we will send this an email, okay, as a replay. We'll make sure to include the manual link, the graphic link, the link to order bulk books, information about becoming an affiliate if you're not an affiliate, how to get a public profile if you don't have a public profile, And we will also post all of that in your Facebook group. So, and on the NINGs. So in the bars and the certified facilitator and the body process. So you guys have that in the file section. In each Facebook group, there's a file section where things can live permanently. So we'll make sure you have that there too. And on the NINGs.
So there's a couple other questions. If you could go over a little bit more about what gifting and receiving is. And because since you mentioned the taste out of the box, people are asking how they can do that one.
Cool. Let me, I can put that information in the follow-up, because I know some of you are probably new facilitators and weren't around maybe when we did that last year. So I can put, it's another intro class that Gary and Dane did. It's like replaying a video of the class that they did. It's about 2 hours in length. And basically you set up a TV and replay their class. So it's different from this where you're actually kind of facilitating a bit around a book. And that was, again, something we made available for you guys to facilitate, because it was just sort of inviting people to the tools and introduction. So I can include some information on that too, so you guys are aware of the different things that you're able to facilitate, especially these intros, because they really are a really great way to invite new people. And approach other spaces, maybe in your community, like the community centers and wellness centers and yoga places. These intro workshops are, they're a nice length that you can rent out space or and offer to people that, maybe they're going to a yoga class or going to see a chiropractor, and then they see this workshop about how much are you willing to receive? Like, oh, what's that? So it's a really cool way to get people maybe introduced to Access that haven't heard of it before. So what else is possible? And if you didn't have any conclusions of what marketing or promotion or creating a class was like, how would you create this? And who would you invite? And how would you share it? Because something totally unique to anybody else on here. How I would create the class and how I would market and promote it, which sometimes I don't even like those words because they have such definition to them, would be totally different how you would do it. So follow your knowing. And have fun with it and play with it and see what shows up and what people in your area are liking and what they're interested in. Thank you guys so much. Be looking for the follow-up email, and if you guys have questions, make sure you let us know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You guys are awesome. Bye.
You're awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.